Hello everybody, it's your pal E.V.A here, and today is another chill speed paint video. I know I haven't had one of these in a while, especially because last week's video was a bit more just me venting about the pain that the artwork from last week caused me, but that's okay, because this one's going to be really fun. It's going to be sort of a character designing concept video where I'm kind of like doing an artwork for a character concept that I just thought of. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Before we begin, also, I want to bring up something I thought was really funny. So, not last week's video, but the video before last week's, the one where I talked about Xavier and Gaming, I take forever to respond to my comments and actually look at them, because I'm just bad at that. But the first comment when I looked at it, I got the comments underneath it were really, really wholesome and very good, and I love getting those comments. You guys are so nice. I love it. But the first comment that I got was, "You sound like Venti, not gonna lie," and that made me laugh so hard when I saw it, because I've never thought that I'd ever be compared to sounding like a character before. I actually went and listened to Venti's voice lines. Also, sorry if you can hear weird bird noises. Those are my brother's pet birds, and they're very loud right now because I'm not recording in my room because my computer is being very loud. So it's either that or the loud fan noises from my computer. So hope that's okay. But I actually looked up some voice lines that Venti says, and then I listened to my voice in my most recent video. The reason I do that is because, well, your voice it sounds deeper in your head than it actually is when you speak out loud. But I laughed even harder because, yeah, I also could hear it. My voice does sound a lot like Venti's when I hear them back to back. I would say that Venti's is a little more nasally than mine, just like a tad, or maybe not nasally, but you get what I mean, like maybe I don't know, squeakier? Not Paimon squeakier, but like has that bit of a nasally to it. I don't know how to describe that, but if you guys agree with that, if you also think I sound like Venti, or if you think I sound like a different character, or no one, just let me know, because that was really funny, and I'd honestly love to know if you all think I sound like any other characters. So yeah, that was really funny. And also, again, so sorry, my birds are being very loud, but my computer is even louder, so but yeah, today's video is going to be really fun. So I was playing around in some dress-up games and dress-up apps, and I came up with a really kind of cute character design, and I thought I'd try to draw him because I thought he was really cute, so I'm gonna draw him. So this character is sort of like a kind of like a warlock type character, but Lolita, and so for this drawing, I wanted to try and convey what was in the dress-up game into my own style and see how it would work, and I think it looked really nice, and I had a fun time working on it. The way that I actually did this drawing was I actually did it in my more painterly style. The reason why is just because I've been having a fun time playing around with my painterly style more. It's a lot of fun working with that style. And like I've said before, my painterly style is very similar from my own style, or not my own style, but my illustration style. I just use the same brush that I use for sketching, and instead of clipping my shading layers to just the base color, I'll put the base colors, the eye colors, and the line art all in one folder and put the shading layers as clipped to that big folder in order to convey a sort of like overpainting feel and just get more color variety. And I really like doing that. It's something I can't really do in my illustration style because I want everything to be a bit more cleaner, but I don't hate my illustration style at all. I love drawing in that one as well. It's just this one's also really fun to work in, so I just thought I'd switch it up and work in this one for this week. And yeah, I don't have much as far as like character type wise for this character, because it would probably be a one-off thing, but maybe a reoccurring character every now and then. But yeah, he's a guy who likes dressing in Lolita clothes and cross-dressing. If you know me, I do that quite a bit. I make guys very feminine, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. I make guys feminine, girls masculine, and NBs are NBs because they the best. Am I biased because I'm non-binary? Yes, and I'm not apologizing for that. But yeah, for this design, I went with a very red and black design with hints of purple, and is mainly in his eye or eyes. He just has one closed right now, and his cross necklace. And I gave him a cute little umbrella as well because I kind of imagine all this to be sort of inspired by Victorian times. Yeah, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to say for this piece because not much to say, honestly. I pretty much said all the things that I've said. Although you will notice that I also added some small wings on his lower back. I would imagine those would be kind of like powers that he got from whatever patron he works for, including his pointy ear and sharp little fang. The makeup was really fun to play with when I got to the coloring. In the dress-up game I got him from, I added like this little shape right under his eye, and so I kind of interpreted that as some sort of eyeliner. Gave him some eyeshadows and some lipstick, of course, and yeah, some blush as well, although I give all my characters at least some level of blush just to make them seem alive or not alive. Sometimes I use it to make them very much dead looking by just using a very desaturated pink instead of the brighter pink that I use. That's a fun little tip if you want to add blushing to your dead characters, or like revived characters like zombies, vampires, that sort of stuff. You can use a desaturated pink rather than a bright pink or desaturated red or whatever color you use in order to give them a more dead complexion. That's just a thing I do though. You don't have to do that, especially if your character has a very different skin tone, like very natural, like blue, pink. You can do whatever. But yeah, I do have a bit of a personality plan for this character. I imagine they're very kind of like quirky and fun. They can be a bit dramatic and whiny, and he probably does like fighting and stuff and using his demonic powers. He might have a goal, I think maybe something to do with the lover or something, but yeah, he's basically very fun, quirky, bit dramatic, can be whiny, and likes to be in the action. Yeah, what's really fun with drawing pictures like these nowadays is I get to experiment a lot with what I've learned from practicing anatomy this past year. Every year since since I got really serious about drawing, I learned something in that year and kind of focused on it. I've talked about how 2021, I believe, was the year that I really focused on backgrounds. It was either 2021 or 2022. I think it was 2022. 2021 was the year I really focused on my rendering style. 2022 was the year I focused on backgrounds, and this year was the year I finally focused on anatomy, except for hands. We'll just do that next year. That's fine. But yeah, it's funny that I talk about working on backgrounds because this one doesn't really have one, and I actually went against my normal progress where I do the basic background first and then do the character rendering. Instead, I saved that for last because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I went for a simple dark background. I found this really cool cracks brush. I think it's a default in Clip Studio Paint X, and watercolor splashes, and this one fence pole or iron fence bar brush as well in order to give it a bit more of a scene. And yeah, I actually really like how the background turned out, especially those cracked brushes. I need to use that one more. That looks really cool. Gives us sort of a Stranger Things vibe, and I don't know why. And yeah, I think adding the purple in his eye and his cross was really good because it adds a really nice contrast to everything, which is really good. You know, a lot of red and black, a little bit of purple, and that way your eye goes directly directly to the face is the subject of this piece. And yeah, I don't have much else to say for this one. So I'll probably let the rest of the speed paint play out, and I'll join you at the very end. that was it for my warlock lolita boy character. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a fun time working on him, and it's really nice to just make a chill speed paint video again. A lot of the times I struggle with finding artworks that I've recorded for chill speed paints, because nowadays most of my artworks are for videos and stuff, like specifically, so it's hard for me to find like one that I've done just in the last few months that aren't specifically for videos, but one that I just recorded the progress of anyway, so that way I can share it with you all. Because at this point, YouTube's the main place where I share my artwork. I try to post on Instagram, but it is hard, especially when Instagram has very bad algorithm issues, and like, I don't understand the updates they make, but I think that is a very not a hot take as far as like how it treats small artists, but that's okay. I really do enjoy posting my art on here, and the feedback you guys been giving me are so nice. And again, if you think I sound like a character, let me know. Maybe I'll try to do Binti impressions or whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, you can subscribe, maybe like the video if you'd like to. The rest of my artworks are on my Instagram link below. Probably not this one, because I don't think I've posted this one yet, but you can see some of the other ones I posted like a few weeks ago and haven't posted since. But I also have my comics, which I also mainly focus on these days, on my webtoon linked below, Mysteries of Syria, Haikus Magical World, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye!